Good morning, down here at Cooter's Garage today. Recon 3, going to get some lube locker gaskets on the front and rear diff, some new 80/90 oil, probably going to service the transfer case and the transmission. So good day today. Had great luck with these. There you go, right there. I don't know, maybe 25 bucks on Amazon, but I've had my diff covers off so many times on Recon 1, and it's just so nice to be able to remove that cover and take care of your business and get everything back on there without having to deal with silicone and all of that crap. So there we go. So right now,
but I'm not sure. Which I thought was kind of cool. So I bought one. Yeah, I was very surprised. I'm looking at all the filter. Get some vice grips on it for you.
yeah, we may end up doing something like that. So, all right, so we're just back from Mitchell Jeep. Got a pan gasket for the transmission, a bunch of ATF plus 4. This is that armored diff cover that comes on the Recon Rubicon modified front axle, and you can see Mike's taking that cover off here shortly. And we're putting lube locker gaskets on it and refilling with some new 80/90. Meanwhile, I'm removing these, I can't stand those ridiculous brackets that they install underneath the perch. They actually end up limiting your down travel. It puts stress on the brake line. So as soon as I saw that, just freed it from the perch, and then you got to kind of pry that off the brake line. So we'll get some vice grips on that and get that taken care of after. All right, there you go. Mike left one bolt at the top. And as you know, we already had drained the majority. But yeah, it just seems like, hey man, I mean, I bought this vehicle used, and we're basically just going through and changing all our fluids. We're gonna do the transfer case, the transmission, front and rear diff, new gaskets, new oil.
There she is.
Well, hello there. Stock
cover.
locker, yeah, nice armored cover.
Looks pretty clean in there.
Yeah, it does. It does look pretty. It's pretty damn good.
Cleaning this up.
All right, you can see we got the drain in the rear.
Nothing on here, just a little.
A little bit of sludge on the magnet, as you'd expect.
Looks clean otherwise.
Yeah, the oil does look pretty good too. It's always nice to see. You can see the doctor's not messing around. He's getting all of that silicone off of there. I'll grab some brake cleaner. We'll clean that up.
Just about ready to go back together.
You go ahead and spray brake cleaner right in there.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt anything. I mean, I wasn't really aiming it in there, but
Happily, no inner seal leaks. The C's are nice and dry, so that's great.
looks good. I like it.
Nice to have the right tools and do it kind of efficiently. Get all that freaking old silicone off of that flange, off of the housing. Very nice. All right, once again, gasket installs dry. No sealant required. Will not split. You guys can read it. Yeah, this is a beauty. I've used these on Recon 1. I've had great luck with them, so we're going to put that on this Jeep as well. All right, so the lube locker gasket is in. Crisscross applesauce. Spec for this armored diff cover is 25 to 30. We're gonna go 25 foot-pounds when we torque it. And then we'll add that 80-90 in there. Front diff is 1.3 quarts. So what we do is we pour it right into this, and then Mike can just pump it right in there nicely.
Like regular gear oil, I got the 5-gallon bucket, you know, for 80-90 weight.
That's what this is.
Yeah. Oh, is this synthetic or anything special?
No, I just bought the regular Mopar. Yeah, this is what I run. This is what I've been running. Been running that in Recon 1 for years. Never had a problem.
I tell you, remember I told you I had a plan of doing like a dock light? Yeah, they leave just enough.
Just
right
a little
here.
tab.
No, maybe not.
Well, Mike's approach is he leaves the top bolt in right there so that when it breaks, the cover just doesn't go flying. You don't have to deal with it. Just trying to break that seal a little bit. Obviously, once the lube blocker's on there, we'll never have to deal with this. Oh, you might, right here it seems like there might be. Looks like you got a lip up here in the top corner, right here at the 2 o'clock position right there. Yeah.
We can get under it.
It's amazing how strong that silicone can be. Nice.
Okay.
There she goes. Great job.
So let that drain for a little bit.
Yep.
Come in and clean it up.
Yeah, we'll pull the... Okay. Here we go.
It's good in there.
All right, while Mike is cleaning the cover on the rear diff and that thing drained out, I'm gonna undo the drain plug, remove the stock transfer case skid plate, 4 18mm head bolts. And so here's our drain. I've done this many times on Recon 1. Obviously, as I said, just trying to really do a good servicing on this new purchase. And here's the fill plug right here. So this holds 2 quarts of ATF plus 4. What I love about the JK is the transmission, the transfer case, and the power steering are all ATF plus 4. So it's great when you're wheeling to be hauling some of that around with you. All right, that's my first transmission bolt. So I used I think it's a Torx 30 on that. This first one in the corner is attached to a little protective shield. You can see it right there. So I think I just got to loosen up that 10mm nut right there, and that shield just gives a little bit of protection. So far so good. All right, so what we're doing to access the bolts in the far corner towards the back of the Jeep, we undid the 3 nuts that hold the transmission to the cross member. Now we should be able to kind of lift. You can see that Mike's got the jack, and he's going to raise that up a little bit, and that'll give us some some room. Is she going up?
Oh yeah. Get separation now.
Okay. All right. So what you can see here is we decided to pull the tranny cross member out. All right, that just comes out on the, drop the driver's side down and pull it that way. No problem, because as I said, this thing's never been wheeled. Everything's coming apart nice. But now you can see I have access to those bottom 2. I got a bolt right there and one right there. Then everything will be loose, and I just know that none of the clips are broken. You can see that just loosening up the 4 was starting to lose some transmission fluid. No big deal. All right. So what I used is, the big fear was making sure those bolts would come out, and they have clips. See those thick clips right there? So basically I would put the torque socket in there, and then I would tap it with a small hammer, and then they all broke nice. So there's 6 of them, they're all loose, the clips are good, everything is nice. So we will be taking these down, and then it gets a little sloppy right here, but that's where we are. We're doing pretty good. All right, there's a look at the transmission bolt. You can see it has a clip, and that clip just catches the lip of the pan. Now, as you know, that there's aftermarket drain pans that have drain plugs in them. Dorman makes one, but the people that have installed them felt that where they put the drain plug really wasn't helpful at all, because it was still in the way of the crossover pipe or the cross member. So So anyway, we're gonna stay with the stock OEM cover with a new gasket. So I have 5 more of these to take off. So just loosening up that back corner, you can see it draining. So I'm just letting that drain. Mike's got this nice big catch pan, which gives me a bigger target. So we'll let that drain a little bit. It's gonna be nice to have some brand new ATF plus 4 in here. I'll feel really good about that. And realistically, the only other fluids, I mean, you can drain brake fluid and put new brake fluid in and coolant, and pretty much the lifeblood of the Jeep would all have been changed out. So today was diffs and transmission, and it's coming out really good. All right, so while the transmission is draining, you can see Mike's been plugging away on the rear diff, and we'll pump in 2.3 quarts of 80/90 in the rear end. All right, it's a shitty job, but the filter's out, but we're having a little bit of a hard time trying to sneak this. Okay, the gasket's caught there, yeah, almost. Yeah, gentle. Ooh. Oh, he just barely snuck her out. Wow, nice job. And look at, there's still a tremendous amount of transmission fluid. There's a magnet in the bottom. We'll check that and clean it, but there you go, guys. There's the valve body right there. Yeah, shit job. Something that you really only want to do once, and
it's got to come out very flat. It has to just lay on the exhaust.
Yeah, and just super flat. Well, hopefully you'll be able to do it with the filter in. So the filter popped out of that big hole right there. It's got a detent. Yeah, that's where it goes in. There's a gasket, and then there's a little detent, so you line it up perfectly on the other end. See the detent right there, a little tit.
A little peg that lines up, I think, with that little hole right there.
Yeah, that's all there is to it.
Presses up in there.
So there we go. So we'll let that drain. We'll get some of this cleaned up. Got a brand new Mopar OEM filter. Nice job. The magnet comes right out. You can see it has all those fine little filings, clutch packs, etc. Just gonna clean everything up really good. We'll clean the magnet up good and put that back in the pan.
It's really a unique setup because it just clamps the pan to the bottom.
Yeah, look at it. It's just
smooth.
Very smooth, very round and thick, almost probably a damn near of a 1/4 inch thick pan. Just an amazing piece of engineering. You really just got to marvel. So this is, Jeep calls it a W5A 580. It's actually a Mercedes-Benz transmission. And as our good friend Tony at AA Transmission taught us, it's a Mercedes-Benz 722.6. There's all kinds of incredible manuals you can buy for it on rebuilding these things. And it is a very stout, good high-end transmission.